Hi everyone, I know IAE 2951 is long gone, but I have a few videos like this that I didn't get to finish editing because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'm just now getting a chance to post them. I hope you guys can enjoy this look back at Alien Day. Hmm, it's a spot. Welcome back, Star Citizens. Astronesto here for a very fun day at the expo, as today is Alien Day. Wait, is it called Alien Day? Well, anyway, I call it Alien Day because that's when we have the alien manufacturers, or the exotics. So, being that these are alien ships or exotics, or I don't know, even think of it like maybe as an import car or something like that, they come with a hefty price tag, and that's something that these ships usually get knocked for. But we'll talk about that. All right, so this is the hall. This day is a little bit different. I mean, even though Esperia seems to have taken over most of the main floor, we do see that Banu was able to sneak in there with the Banu Defender on the left side, which the space crab, if you ask me, definitely sticks out and kind of steals the view in a field of really good looking ships, especially the centerpiece, the Esperia Prowler. Let's take a look. Mini, mini, mo. Which one should we start off with? Alright, let's start out with probably the most ridiculously priced fighter here, the Esperia Blade. And it pains me to say that because I really do like this fighter. I love the way that it looks. It's got that, it's a Vanduul replica fighter from Esperia. And it's a light fighter, but I really like the way that it looks. It's kind of got that Giger alien look to it that the Vanduul have going on. I do like the way that it flies. However, I haven't used it too much in combat. I think it's got a cool way to enter the ship, and like all alien ships, it has a pretty cool quantum effect, but I don't know. I mean, I just really do not like the price points. That kind of takes the wind out of my sails when I'm talking about this ship. I can't really get too excited about it just because I know, like, if you wanted to buy this one, you're going to pay way too much for what it's worth. So anyway, those are my quick thoughts on the Blade. Let me know what you guys think. Moving along here, we've got the Banu Defender, a ship I really can't say enough about, and it looks like somebody left the lights on. The Space Crab is, in my opinion, one of the best alien ships you can get. I did a review on this one that I'm pretty proud of, so I'll put the link up so that you guys can get my full in-depth thoughts about the entire ship. But in a nutshell, this ship can be the most awesome daily driver, I think, in the game. I mean, you've got two beds in here for the crew. There's a pilot cockpit over here and a co-pilot navigator seat on the other side. The cockpits are pretty much identical because in lore, I believe it should be flyable on both sides. However, I don't remember if it's fully functional that way in game right now. If not, it will be eventually soon. You know, you have the components back here and stuff like that, but for a medium fighter to have this kind of space, I think is kind of tremendous. And the reason why I say it can be used as a daily driver is you can actually put stuff in here, like if you're doing box missions or other items. Beds are really cool as it gives you a place that you can log in and out of, so you don't necessarily have to make it back to a station or wherever your home is going to be. I mean, it's just a cool ship in so many freaking ways, especially the way that it looks. Now, it used to be really used a lot in PvP, I heard, but I personally didn't use it that way. In PvE, I thought it was pretty good. One of the drawbacks with this ship, though, is that the weapons are on the claw-like arms, and those are prone to being blown off or damaged in battle, so that's definitely something you got to consider if you're going to be a Banu Defender pilot. But the way that this thing flies is tremendous. I mean, in lore, the Banu basically cannibalize the best technology that they find, so I believe the thrusters are like Tavarin, and they really perform very well. I mean, I love this ship in so many ways. That's why I recommend take a look at my review to get my full thoughts on it. but this ship I like a lot. I don't remember the price point though. We'll get to that later on in the best and bad buys section. But I don't know too many people that have this ship that regret having it. However, if you are that guy who does regret having the Banu Defender or that they had it in the past, let me know. I'd like to hear what your thoughts on it. Alright, moving along, let's talk about the centerpiece in the room, the Esperia, I just love saying Esperia, Prowler. Yeah, the name Esperia it really sounds super fancy, right? Anyway, the Prowler is the Tavarian dropship. I guess I should mention that Esperia basically does replicas of ships. So that they make like replicas of a lot of these alien ships that are usable by humans. That's kind of like their shtick. Anyway, let's talk about this ship. Which was kind of rough for me to get into, and I lost my bottled water. It's an alien dropship. Basically, the troops are, standing up in this one. It's kind of decently armed. I mean, it's got 2 size 4 cannons that are upgradable to 5s, I believe. And a size 5 turret on this guy, so that's not bad at all. And I mean, this thing really flies tremendously. I believe the first time I saw it, this guy was like hot dogging around me just to show off to say, hey, I've got this. Stuck trying to look cool there while I was talking about the ship. This ship flies really well. I mean, it's really maneuverable. It's really an experience. One that I definitely recommend that you rent to try it out. Because I think when you look at the price point for the ship, you'll probably be turned off a little bit. I know I am for what it does. It is a dropship, and I guess that's pretty cool, but it doesn't really do much else besides that. So there's that to consider. But I think everybody should experience probably flying one of these at least once. Buying it, that's another story. I'd probably pass. Moving along, Esperia Glaive. This is like the Vanduul medium fighter, and this guy is a beast to deal with, pretty scary. Also been modified for humans to use. The deal with this ship is it's like, I believe it's a limited sale, so it's kind of hard to actually acquire one. And I believe I saw it listed for sale today, but when I went to go click on buying it, it was like there's no buying options. So maybe this is the one that they left as a limited sale for the alien stuff. Looks kind of like a hot rod with this paint job, that's for sure. I hear that this is a capable fighter, but I can't get my hands on it to actually try it. If you have a Glaive and you want to let me try it out for a review, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hang out with you and get your thoughts on the ship as well too. But yeah, if you are a Glaive pilot, let me know what you think about this guy. I probably can't recommend buying it at the price point, but that's just me. I mean, any fighter is kind of like a tough sale for me. You have to be really cool. However, the Banu Defender is really cool, so that one I'd probably make an exception for. Here's another really cool ship, the Esperia Talon. Okay, so Esperia's at it again. This time they reproduced a Tavarian escort fighter for the Prowler. That's what this guy was mainly designed for, to escort the Prowler into battle. What's really interesting about these ships, I mean, number one, it does look pretty cool. It's like bird-like, right? The way that it stands, which is pretty awesome. Seems like an alien ship must, to be a decent alien ship and to be taken seriously, it must be a replica, or it must at least resemble some sort of animal. And if it's Tavarian, it's going to be birds, because they are like these cool, awesome bird-like species. It'd be awesome to make a Tavarian character. I hope at some point they change their mind and decide to let us be aliens. But anyway, I'm spinning off into a tangent. The big thing to know about these, and if you see over there on the right, I believe Talon Strike is over there. Regular Talon is more of a laser boat, I guess. It's got, nice 2 size 3 cannons on it, I believe, which are sitting on 4 size 4 gimbal mounts, so I think you could upgrade these to size 4. And you've got 2 size 3 missile racks with just 8 missiles. It's not a lot. But the Shrike over there is the missile variant of it, which has 2 size 4 missile racks with like 24 missile capacity. So, I mean, that's a ton. that's a load to deal with. But and it's only got like 2 puny size 1 cannons, I believe, on the front of that. So you know, the strike over there is basically meant to light it up, which I know I definitely can't say, so I beeped it out. When these first came out, I also did a quick video on them, so I'll leave a link to that one for a more in-depth look at it. But all you need to know is that these things fly pretty awesome. I mean, it's a really great experience to fly one of these around. I think you would definitely enjoy it, and the price point is not really too bad. But you know, again, I mean, these are real niche fighters. They fit a really specific role, and they're small, so they are limited in that aspect. Also, I should mention that the nose kind of like ejects out where you sit, which is really kind of cool. So anyway, I'm not really sure I would recommend buying these. I think you probably would feel better buying it in game for what it is, because it's not something you get to use that often. It's not like my man, the Banu Defender. I mean, that guy, like I said, could be a daily driver. But there is no perfect ship. I think I even told you the Banu Defender, my favorite, has its drawbacks. Speaking of drawbacks, let's talk about the Aopoa Khartu-Al, which has a lot of drawbacks, if you ask me. I'm very fond of calling it the Khartu-Na in some of my videos, but maybe I'm too hard on it. So let's talk about it real quick. I do love this crimson red paint job that it has. Kind of resembles the red paint job that Mazdas have on them now. Mazda has like the best red, if you ask me. I forget what they call it, like crimson red or something like that, but I feel like this ship has it as well too. So the creature they're going for here looks like is some sort of insect with a long nose. It is a really cool ship to look at. Khartu-Al is one of the most maneuverable ships in the game. It's using like 4 main thrusters and 8 maneuvering thrusters. So for the size of it, I mean, it's really nimble and can handle pretty well. They've kind of upgraded it a little bit, so they've made it a little bit more viable, and some people actually like using it as a fighter. I personally don't, but maybe I should give it another shot since it's been reworked. I might be surprised a little bit, but my knock on it is I found it to be not that durable. However, it is a light fighter, so maybe my expectations are a little out of whack for it. Like anything, it's probably a personal preference. I mean, my preference in general is not to fly light fighters at all because I'm not very good at combat, right? That's why I prefer the heaviness of my Harbinger. But it is a cool ship. It's got transforming wings, and you know, it's got that alien quantum effect, so that's pretty nice as well too. You know what's not nice is the price point for this ship for what it is. I think that's the other reason why I'm really hard on this ship, even though it looks really cool and it's a great gimmick. But like most alien ships, they're like that fancy ship that you put in your garage, or in this case your hangar, and you kind of show off to your friends to say, hey look, I've got a Khartu-Al over there in the corner. But let's go again, hop back in my 300i, I guess, and cruise around. 300i wouldn't be a good ship to cruise around. Let's say 400i. But anyway, you get my meaning. Alright, let's go downstairs and see what we have. Ah, these are the Nox bikes by Aopoa, I believe. Alright. Yeah, one is like the Nox Q and like the regular Nox. I believe one is more the combat variant and the other one is the racer. These are pretty cool looking bikes and they're very fast. My drawback with them is that once you get off the bike, it's kind of a crapshoot as far as what the bike is going to do. They really need to work on the physics for bikes, I think. I would like to see them maybe add like some sort of magnetic lock on pads, you know, on ships or something like that to lock the bikes in, because the physics on the hover bikes is just pretty crazy. That being said, I do like the bike a lot, and I think once they've worked out how hover bikes work a little bit better, it's going to be even better. Not sure I think it's worth buying it with real world money though. You should definitely buy these in game. They are single seaters. Just really occurred to me, I was just thinking, I'm seeing like all these here. It'd be pretty awesome, right, if you had like a biker gang just riding out on all these. But speaking of riding out, one of the drawbacks is these are single seaters, where I believe the Dragonfly from Drake, for example, which competes against this, is a 2-seater. So that's something else to consider. All right, well, this is a ship that had a pretty good citizen con. Let's talk about the Banu Merchantman. A ship that I'm glad is down here as well too, because I didn't really get to talk about it because I didn't get a chance to film a citizen con video, similar to what I was talking about with the Liberator. But Banu Merchantman really got hooked up from what we understand. Now that they're actually working on it, it looks like, I mean, it's not really going to come out anytime soon, I believe, because I think they're going to be working on it well past June of 2022. But people are saying for some reason that they get a good feeling or good vibe that this one may come out next year. That being said, the price has definitely gone up with this ship, and it's going to go up even more as it gets closer to being flyable, because this guy is probably like the closest competitor to like an 890 jump now. They've resized it a little bit, made it larger. It's you know, its main role is to be a flying bazaar, and that functionality is still there because, you know, the Banu are like merchant people. That's why it's called the Merchantman. So you're going to be able to set up shops in there, which reminds me a lot of the Elite Dangerous carrier feature, where if you have a carrier in Elite Dangerous, you can sell commodities, buy and sell. So I think that functionality is going to be in this one. And the only other ship that can do that is the Kraken Privateer. But speaking of the Kraken, it's like a aircraft carrier, like a space aircraft carrier. This one, they added a hangar to it for the Banu Defender, which the Defender is designed to defend his ship, so it makes a lot of sense. So in the nose, there's going to be a hangar that comes out of the front for the Banu Defender, which I think is pretty awesome. Glad they added that function in there. So, you know, definitely making it more of a capital ship now. Also in line with what capital ships have, it's got, you know, some pretty impressive weaponry. Up front, it's going to have 2 size 8 weapons in the nose. That's going to be pretty imposing for anybody who wants to mess with this guy. It's got size 5 man turrets somewhere on this thing, and 4 automated defense systems, which are going to be able to handle missiles that are going to be headed towards this, or torpedoes from people just hating on you and trying to like knock you out of the sky, right? So I mean, that's really cool. If you look at the CitizenCon video, there's just so many things that they added to this ship. So I'm really glad that Mafanwe, she told me about this ship and she talked me into it when it was cheap. I think about a year or 2 ago, and she's like, "This is a ship you should really be looking at." And when I looked at it, I was like, I can't really see them doing all that stuff. But now they've exceeded my expectations and they've done even more with it. So this ship is definitely one to think about. It can be your base of operations in space. Like I said, I'm a fan of the Defender, so the fact that it can carry the Defender in there is just an added plus. But you know, it's got a really unique interior, as most of the alien ships do. There's an added cargo area towards the bottom. That's the other thing I forgot to mention, is that this thing can haul a lot of cargo. So, you know, I could definitely see this, like, you know, especially if you don't have too many people to play with or whatnot. Well, it's a capital ship, so let me change that. You would need to have somewhat of a crew on this thing to man it. But this can be your base of operations in space. I guess what I'm saying as I'm babbling on about the Merchantman is that it's a really good ship now. And it's something I think is worth considering. However, the price point is going up now. So now that I believe it's crossing over past that $500 threshold, maybe it's something not to consider buying. Whereas it was pretty much of a good deal. I think last year it was like at $350 at one point, and it was cheaper than that even before. So people who got in on this ship really early on, you guys really made out pretty good. Alright, and the other alien concept that we know about is the Gatac Railen. I did a video on this one when it was introduced, kind of explaining where I thought it would be used. I kind of see it as a blockade runner due to its defensive skills, and it's got a decent amount of cargo capacity on the inside. However, also speaking about the inside, it's got an impressive interior too. It's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to be like a space luxury hotel on the inside of this thing, I think. The interior is just really impressive. I think it's going to lend itself pretty well to crew gameplay on this, which is, you know, it's going to make a lot of sense that it should be nice on the inside, right? Because you're going to be in this thing for a while if you're transporting things for a long haul, right? So I don't know why freighters have to be so ugly, right? Be nice on the inside. Anyway, check out my Railen video for more information about that. I'll float up a link around here. Gatac Railen, I think it's really a compelling ship to look at, and the price point's not too bad right now because it's in concept. But being that it's in concept, we don't know when it's actually going to get released, right? Could be a while. I think that's going to do it for a look at the alien ships on the floor. Let's get into my best and bad buys of the day. Alright, best and bad buys for the aliens. Let's kick it off with Aopoa. Yeah, Aopoa. So Khartu-Al at 170, it's overpriced at that price for what it can do. It's still just a light fighter. Alright, the Nox at $45. You really shouldn't be buying ground vehicles. I still kind of stand behind that because you can buy this one for, just 349,000, I believe, in game. So you can earn that if you're really motivated. I just don't feel that this bike, it's got some glitches. It's kind of cool to ride around. If you've got 45 bucks to spend, I guess okay, but no, I think it's a bad buy. Try to buy this one in game. Xeno at 220. This is going to be a bad mother. I mean, this is going to be a load to deal with, I think, and it's going to maneuver pretty well. Not crazy about it at 220. I think you're paying a little bit of that alien hike, but I do think if they don't screw this one up whenever it does finally make it into the game, it is going to be pretty cool. I just don't think you should necessarily buy it. I think you should buy it in game, most likely, because it's a fighter. So let's give it a bad buy. It's going to wrap it up for Aopoa. Sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing these. And you got to scroll back up. Let's go with Banu next, right? What's Banu got for us? Alright, Banu Defender at 220. I know I said no to Xeno at 220. This is overpriced at 220, but it is a great ship, and I think most people who get it don't feel bad about it once they do get it, because it's a really cool daily driver in my opinion. You could get a lot of use out of this ship. The only drawback being that these crab-like legs, once they're gone, you're gonna have a hard time flying this ship, so you may not make it out of whatever scrape you're in. I should tell you to buy it in game, so I'm gonna stick with that. Buy it in game. So let's call it a bad buy, because it is kind of overpriced for what it is. But I feel really bad saying that because I love this ship so much. Banu Merchantman at 550. It's crossed that threshold of 500 where I hate to recommend anything, but this is still a good ship, I think, and an even better ship now that it's been announced. Me personally, I paid probably like 200 or more less for this ship, so that's why I have another hard time recommending it at this price point. But I think it's going to be pretty good. It'll be better than a Carrack is and stuff like that, and it's getting kind of close to those price points at this point. So still kind of a bargain if you look at it compared to like a Carrack, which I believe is $600 if you think about it that way. But I don't know, it's gonna be a while till it hits the game. Maybe next year if we're lucky, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's an okay buy. I would say it's a good buy, but I don't feel like I can say anything over $500 is a good buy. So let's give it an okay buy. But I'm a big believer in this ship. All right, Esperia. We talked about them a lot. Starting with the Blade at 275, bad buy, hands down. Just too much money for a light fighter. I don't care how cool it looks. Glaive at 350, no, bad buy. Again, don't care how good it looks or how great it fights. Try to buy this one in game. Prowler 440, bad buy. Again, I don't care how cool it is, how well it flies. This one is even worse buy for me because it really is relegated just to that dropship role. And for that price, I want to be able to haul some cargo or something like that, for what we're paying there. So, sorry, cool ship, but I'm gonna have to say no. You're a bad buy. Talon at 115. I will say it's a little overpriced, but I think it's okay to good to spend that kind of money on this one because you know, being that it's an exotic, you're going to pay a little bit more anyway. But this one is a real nice gem to fly, and you know, I haven't used it too much in combat, but I suspect it'd be kind of okay. 115 again for the strike. This is more for missiles. I think it's kind of a bad buy, but I'll say okay. Not sure how good I feel about saying okay though. Anyway, Gatac Railen, 225. I liked this better when it came with LTI for that price. At 225 with the 120 month, I don't really like it so much, but I do think this is going to go up in value as it gets closer to release. It could probably double, if not more. So if you are interested in this ship, now's probably the time to look at it. Ship this size, though, I would like it with LTI, so I'd probably would try to figure out the upgrade path from an LTI token you have if you decide to pursue it. So I'm going to say it's an okay buy. Alright, that's going to do it for best and bad buys. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for my look at the Alien Day here at IAE 2951. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really do appreciate you guys taking time to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a like and subscribe. It really helps me out with the channel. Anyway, thanks again. Really appreciate you guys. Be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.